Howdy, hey, everybody. Welcome into today's live stream. You know what? Today is the last day of Spooktober. Spooktober, everybody! It's been a great run. We've done a few great streams I'm very happy with. Today, we're ending with a classic VFX shot. We're going to be doing the Conjuring ghost cloth rip off the face type thing. I think this will be an easy stream. I think the challenges really will be I filmed it with my cell phone, and cell phones have like this auto focus and stabilization crap on it. So it's going to be really annoying to track. So we're going to see how that goes. But how are you guys doing? What have you been doing this week? Have you guys seen anything crazy? Any good horror films that we need to talk about? I threw up a Q&A. Go ahead and answer over there. Would love to see what you guys have been watching this week. I had a fun one. We went to Universal Studios Hollywood Horror Nights. Hollywood Horror Nights. Yes. Nens. Just overload of comp work. That's actually good. Just overload of comp work. That's been kind of my last couple weeks. I had a huge deadline this week. We hit it. And I felt like Friday, because like everything had to be done by Thursday. When I finally hit Friday, it was just like kind of like a relaxed day. I was like, oh, this is a moment I can just like chill. What's up, Marvin Studios? Welcome into the chat. How you doing today? We're just talking about what our favorite horror films are. This is the last week to give me movie recommendations to watch. I don't know. What did I watch? What did we watch? I feel like I watched something. Should look up my letterbox. I often forget what I see just because like I don't even know, like, and then I remember and I go, oh yeah, that was a good movie. But it's like I don't know what it is. It's like right in the moment. Oh, that's a good one. I haven't seen that yet. Oh yeah, my coworker watched Us. I did watch Get Out. That was pretty good. I watched Black Phone, but I haven't seen the second one yet. I'm hoping to watch it tonight or tomorrow or something like that. I haven't gotten a chance to really go to the theater, and that's what I would love to do, but I just haven't done it yet. Guys. So no spoilers, all right? I don't want any spoilers on that. I did watch, I feel like I really haven't watched all that many movies this week. That's kind of sad, because I watched Interview with the Vampire before last week, and that one was okay. But, actually, no, I thought it was pretty good. I shouldn't say it was okay. I feel like it was pretty good. But this week I've been a little busy, as I've been telling you guys. So I haven't gotten a chance to really watch anything new. But what have you guys seen? What horror films in the world of horror have you guys checked out? My short film finally surpassed on my YouTube channel the Wind of Change teaser trailer that was on my YouTube channel. So now I have more views on my short film. Thank you guys so much for your support, sharing it with your friends and all that. Thank you guys so much. Conjuring 4, was that good? Was it good? I actually haven't looked up reviews for it at all yet. I just didn't like the third one. Conjuring 3 was not... It felt like a Marvel film to me. Let's see. So the Last Rites is the one that just came out. The Devil Made Me Do It was the last one I watched, and I was just like, I gave it a 1.5 stars on Letterboxd, guys. But the one that came out this year, it's giving it a 2.8. That's okay, actually. That's like, so my rating system, and so maybe to other people's ratings, it's probably not good. You just need to see it. Okay, I'll watch it. It was okay. Yeah, I feel like my ratings are always like half a star to a star lower than other people, because I feel like people in general are too nice in their ratings. I think that a 2.5 is like an average movie. It's like you watched it, it was okay. It wasn't bad. It didn't make you go, oh, this movie was terrible. But it was just a movie. It was a movie. It delivered on that front. So that's a 2.5 for me. So then if you go down from there, you get like, the 2s or the 1.5s. That doesn't make those ratings terrible. It just makes they exist, And I think the same way about like if it's a 3, It's not an average film, whereas normal people would probably say that's like an average whatever film. Whereas to me, I feel like that's just a little bit above average. Letterbox is hard because you only have the 5 stars. So you kind of have to think about it in like 10% increments or 20% increments rather than 10% increments. And so the half stars mean quite a bit more because of that. But yeah, I'll check out Conjuring. I did want to check it out. I was looking forward to that. I did go to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios. They had some really cool mazes and funness. Really excited about that. Wasn't expecting you to stream today. You didn't see the notification? Oh, I forgot to post the thing yesterday, so probably you didn't see it early. Baha, you're here now. Welcome in, Baragon Productions. Welcome into the chat. Yeah, I didn't post it yesterday, so I didn't give people time to hit the notify button. I don't know how many people actually hit the notify button when I do that early, but I do that so that just in case someone wants to notify themselves early. And then, of course, I post it in the Discord, which hopefully you're part of the Discord. And then you can see the notifications when that happens. Otherwise, you might miss it. But I think you're in the Discord. I'm just throwing that out there for the other people. All right. So let's see. What are we doing here, guys? Today, we're doing a fun new stream. We're going to be doing a comp shot inside of Nuke. It's going to be exciting. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be a nightmare to camera track. But essentially, let me pull it up real quick, and then I'll jump right on over into the screen for you guys. Let's see. Well, I can actually just show you this. I have already created the plates. I have the BG plate already, as well as a clean plate for it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that over into Nuke, and then that way we can start working on the shot. Whoopsies. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's the plate. So I'm going to open up the plate here. And essentially, I already made these as ACES CG plates. So we'll just go ahead and tag them as such here. They're pretty easy, straightforward shots. First of which, I've got my my sister and my buddy standing here with a cloth, and he's standing there under the sheet. But in the Conjuring movie, you might remember that when the cloth gets pulled off, nobody's there. So it's going to be a little bit of a camera track and a paint out that we're doing here today, and then some roto work to make it really cool. So that's the first plate that we have. And then the second plate is going to be this clean plate over here, which again, just grab that real quick. And ACES CG, of course. Now, this has a little bit more frames to it, but it's just essentially the backyard without anybody standing there in order for us to be able to do it. A simple muzzle flash comp the other day. It was hell yeah. Did you post it in the Discord though? Because and I probably missed it. This week, guys, has been crazy. I've been working insanity hours. But I think at this point now, I'm finally at an area where I can chill out. And that's cool. So here's what I'm going to do with this clean plate. I think I'm going to first piece together some frame holds here. I'm just going to do it this way. It's pretty good. So we got our left, our right, and then our top and bottom. I don't think we really need top and bottom, honestly. So we'll just stitch these together. What I like to do, this just makes everything pretty easy. We're just gonna stitch it together like so. Let's do we want to scale it down? Probably not. Let's do a reformat here with none as our scaling, and then we're gonna do scale 2x. So it's like a 4K image now with 2 plates here. I'm just gonna kind of grab these. Probably just line these up. The other way, I mean, we could do this the old Photoshop way, you know. But I kind of want to do it the old clean plating way right now because it just makes my life, you know, it's more fun. And I think this is a really easy VFX shot. So we're just going to do it the older way. You're doing some rotoscoping for screen replacements, mini project for uni. I thought you should join and we can work alongside. Heck yeah, man. That's the point of these streams. You know, when I first started the streams, I was like, oh, people are going to try doing the exact same shot. So I would provide like all the assets beforehand and everything. But then I realized like no one wanted to do that. So we didn't, I stopped doing that. I was like, oh, people just want to either watch or they want to, you know, do their own thing. And that's cool. All right, that's cool. And let's see. Pretty ugly clean plate here. The distortion's insane on this though. Let's do I'm gonna give up early on this for real quick. I kind of want to take the reveal image here, this last frame, and then we're gonna do, because I feel like it's probably better anyways if I just do it how I always do it for work these days. We could either, one of two things. There's a couple ways we could do this, right? I actually want to install eventually Comfy UI directly inside of Nuke here. But let's see. Let's paint out some grassies here. We're going to create ourselves a nice clean plate. How do you retain Nuke knowledge? Like remembering that you have to do 1,000 nodes in a certain order? Is it really just precise, or do you have documents that detail what nodes to use? I just feel like it's practice, right? Like, you know, you kind of like, you just remember what works in certain situations. You're not really thinking about, I guess, like a series of nodes as much as you are thinking about like, oh, I'm doing this part of the comp, so I need to be able to, let's say, key, or I got to paint or whatever. Like, it's not like you're memorizing 1,000 nodes at once as much as it is that you're kind of just using nodes when you need them. It's like memorizing words in a language. Do you remember every single word right now? If I said, oh, how do you retain the knowledge of memorizing words? You'd be like, well, no, I just use it with when I need the words. And that would make sense, I think. I don't know. Does that make sense? This is even a scarier film. We're painting out a torso here. I feel like with grass, we have a lot of leeway on this paint. I'm gonna do, woo, I got weird fast. I'm gonna do this to this guy. And I'm gonna have to darken certain areas, I think. And then this tree back here is gonna be a little annoying, but it's okay. Honestly, once you get into the groove of things with certain softwares, it's almost exactly. I mean, it's just, that's why I try to like say it's like language. It's like you don't think about the words as much as like you're just saying what you know to say. I don't know. And then also, I mean, you don't have to have everything memorized as much as like, oh, I'm going to just look up this one thing. I know I saw this really cool workflow. I don't know. There's often times then where it's like, you know, you won't have to do that going forward at certain points of your life. But because you'll have a lot more of those memorized of like, you know, hey, there was this really cool workflow I saw. But also don't be afraid to experiment on crap. I mean, that's the thing, is like nowadays there's so much new stuff constantly coming out. Like Comfy UI and whatever. that, I mean, your opinion on, AI could be bad, like you don't like AI, but realistically speaking, AI is going to be the future of compositing. So don't be afraid to experiment with new things. And I don't know in university if they're necessarily teaching those new things right now yet. There's a lot of like flack and pushback on different stuff. I listened to a whole talk from different senior compers talking about their opinions on AI about it like a week ago. And I was shocked by how much pushback there really was, because I do feel like you don't have to embrace it to be like, oh, I love using AI, but at the same time, you know, it's going to be the future. Like it's already here. Okay, I gotta mirror this over here, I think, so we'll get to that in a moment. We also have our clean plate, so we can use that. Hello, Nickies! Welcome into the chat. How are you doing today, good sir? Do you think my perspective when I filmed this clean plate was a little off? I didn't do it how I should have, but it is what it is. All right. I also make sure that this needs to be set to HD. Yeah, my perspective was a little off, I think, but it's okay. We're going to make do with what we've got. We could blend this together here, so I'll do this, and let's blur this quite a bit, I'm thinking. What specific things do you it will replace rotoscoping, clone tools, etc.? I mean, it's already done quite a bit of that. I do think it's going to get rid of clean plating and rotoscoping, but at the same time, an interesting perspective is that, can it really get rid of rotoscoping, because it's such a detailed thing? I almost wonder if that'll just be one of those things that's going to be able to do rough rotoscoping, but it'll never be able to do like precise rotoscoping. I don't know. I'm certainly I'm not the expert of like what will happen. All right, let's take this, and what we're going to do now is we're going to try to use it. Did I post my UFO shot? I don't think I did. I'll do it right now. 1 second. Did I? I don't think I did. No, I definitely didn't, because I didn't even render it out. That's hilarious. I'll do that after this stream is over. Dang, Beargon Productions calling me out over here. Dang. That's looking pretty good. Let's do a 5 instead. Exposed. Do this frame hold here, I think. This is the last frame of the shot. It's someone else, Nikki's? Oh, you're talking to Nikki's. Gotcha. Okay, I'm going to save real quick because I didn't yet. Whoops. Let's over to here, I think. Gotta always save, guys. Comp version 1. Comp. What, posting the thing? What wasn't for a feature film? Well, I mean, if it was for a feature film, I wouldn't have been live streaming, so I probably would have uploaded it immediately. It was for an actual project. I wouldn't have been distracted by you lovely lot. All right, so here's the clean plate I got so far. I think I got to do a little bit more there because I still got a little blue coming through. So I'm going to do a little bit more paint work right here. Okay. So it ended up working out pretty well. So now this plate here, for all of you guys who just joined, our goal right now is going to be doing the Conjuring shot. So when the cloth gets pulled off, then we'll be able to have the clean plate behind it. Now that we have that kind of done, this is the last frame of the shot here. We're kind of just removed for the most part. We have a little bit of over there that we should probably fix up. Looking pretty okay now. Oh, that's not good. I gotta fix some of the lines over there. That doesn't line up. That's okay. We can do some paint work. Are you guys distracting? Only a little bit. Only when I actually pay attention to chat. Oh my goodness, that did not work. You want to make a horror film with giant spiders? Count me in. Oh, that's pretty good. Then clean that up a little bit. Probably not like that. Like that. Beautiful. Yeah, that looks pretty dope, guys. One thing I want to do, just because, I mean, honestly, we're probably not going to have any problems with this shot because it was shot on a cell phone. So there's not going to be like too much grain or anything like that. But it still's a good idea to take this original plate. And I'm just going to throw a neat video over top of it. So let's do some reduce gain, prepare noise pattern. I don't want to upgrade right now. We'll upgrade it later. I'm just going to do an auto profile. I mean, honestly, yeah, I'll probably take it from the shirt. Although his shirt does have a pattern on it, so that might not be a good location to get the denoising from. Let's do from over here, too small to profile. Let's do that. That's terrible. Technically, everything here has a pattern on it, so it's like I don't want to do the wall. This will probably be the best chance we'll get at any. Low-key, there's no grain, though. Honestly, there's no grain. Let's not even worry about this, because there's no grain in the shot. I don't think cell phones really have that much grain. Neat video, or are you making a pun? Oh, dude, neat video. All right, so now that we've got this still image here for the clean plate, let's try. I want to try doing it with a camera tracker first. I don't think this is going to work terribly well, mostly because, yeah, I don't think it's going to work terribly well just because it's a cell phone shot, but we're going to try it anyways. We're going to go over here. And just separate this just to keep things a little cleaner. And let's see. I kind of want a roto node here that we can pre-mult. And we're just going to roto out our people that are moving. And anything that's like really moving in your shot. Because honestly, I mean, if you've got leaves moving, I think that would be a problem. I don't think I really have any leaves moving in this shot, but that's your mom? No, it's my sister. I don't think it's your mom. Guaranteed it's not your mom. So does that make me your uncle? Am I your uncle, Nickies? All right. And then there's some Uncle Connor in the chat. Baragon Productions being rude. Okay. I guess this is what I get for live streaming, okay? Just getting some hate now. All right, let's just keyframe that out. I think we should be good. Okay, next up, probably like right over here. And right there. Okay. I'm going to now roto out our ghost guy. You're right, I'm sorry. I would be happy for you to be my uncle. It was Nikki's that said it, not you. Unless you're the same person as Nikki's, or Nikki's is your in real life brother. Which, that would be a revelation. Because you have a pretty mom. And a cool uncle. A pretty mom and a cool uncle. Gosh. Gotta work for my own compliments around here. Okay, let's I think that should be good. And a cool. Let's go. Let's go. All right, we're going to go ahead and save that wonderful roto that we have here, and we're going to see how bad this camera track's going to be. So first of all, if we preview it, you can see that it's even trying to track her shirt here, which is obviously not what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, it's an unknown lens. And also we're going to mask out the alpha. So that way it doesn't use the non-alpha portion. What is it? What do they call that? Non-alpha. The opaque point? I don't know. And then let's go ahead and just track it. See how it goes. We're just using the default settings right now. You compliment me all the time. You just don't say them out loud. That doesn't count as a compliment then. Like, that's just a thought. Like, you have good thoughts about me. That's great. I'm okay. I guess I'm okay with that. You know, I got good thoughts. That's good. That's good energy, as they say. Energy in the universe. Okay, let's solve this and see how bad it is. Just going to delete a bunch of these. Try to get it below 1. Okay, and then delete unsolved. And let's see how crap this is, guys. So scene plus is what I like to do. We won't do the link because that usually just causes everything to be super slow. And let's just see what kind of distortion we got. Yeah, not a lot of distortion. There really shouldn't be a lot of distortion if you think about it. It's a camera lens, and I don't really even think there is distortion at all, but we'll see. So I'm going to select these 2 points here on the wall, so that way it's intersecting with both of those. I'm going to create a card. And now if I want to merge these, I think, back over top of our image. And then I like to have this BG just hanging there. And since our settings are already set to HD here, this will set this to HD as well when it creates the scanline render. So now our camera point clouds, we're just going to turn this off because right now it's just bothering me that they are everywhere. We could plug our card into our scene. Now this already looks like we have some issues, but before we freak out, let's go ahead and add a checkerboard. And if we go into tab settings here, I think it's the correct rotation somewhat. It's this Z here that should be a 0. And then if we uniform scale this up, you'll see that it scales up like so. Now this looks like it doesn't line up, but let's just see if the track tracks, because that's all we want. I don't care if it's pretty because we're going to be projecting onto it. So let's just see if the track tracks. You'll be making this shot day for night? No, I will not. I will not do that. I've already done a day for night shot for Spooktober, technically. That was the first Spooktober stream I did. Okay, this is actually working out pretty well. We can diffuse it anyways. I just feel like you've got like this bright sunlight here. It doesn't lend itself to being a day for night. I mean, we could experiment with it. I mean, we're going to otherwise be done with this stream very quickly. So I don't mind doing some tests like that. We'll see where it goes. All right. I'm going to go back over here and we're just going to delete a bunch more of these trackers. So let's delete rejected trackers. As long as this blue line here stays full all the way, we're happy. So let's go ahead and do that. Now that's a lot better of a track. Let's do create scene plus. And then now we're going to again select 2 trackers that we know intersect with the same wall. So that way it creates it like at the rotation that we already wanted, essentially. Now all we have to do is add that back in. I like to add a checkerboard, just makes everything a lot easier. Okay. Next up, of course, let's go ahead and select this guy. If I set that to 0, we can go ahead and scale our checkerboard up. And let's see, where is our... Oh, well, we have to see our checkerboard. See how well that tracks. Don't necessarily... Well, the ground shouldn't track. We're only looking at the wall part. You know, low-key for a cell phone. That's not... Oh, it's not even lined up, guys. It's okay. We can fix that. Oh my goodness. See how well that tracks. More horror films need bright colors. Yeah, there might be a reason why they don't have bright colors, though. Did you think about that? It's less scary. What would be a good horror film that does have a lot of bright colors? I guess Midsommar. Midsommar. Overstimulation is horrifying. So it's a film that takes place in like an arcade. Yeah, guys, I think that works. It's just like an arcade, you know, with like all the lights, jackpot, jackpot, jackpot. A horror film that takes place in Las Vegas. That does sound horrifying, actually. Okay, so now that we've got this guy in there, I'm going to turn off our points again. We already did it. We'll go to the last frame now. Okay, so with our card that we have, we can actually move this over here now. We want this card to take the clean plate that we already did. And you can see that on 1059 is the frame that we need. So we can actually, there's a couple ways we could do this. I like to take a frame hold here and then just plug it into your camera. And then we will use a project 3D. Now, project 3D gives you two inputs. One is for your camera and one is for your thing that you want to project. So in our particular case, we already have a clean plate, and our clean plate is this whole image. Now we don't want to project the whole image. We actually only want to project the areas in which the clean plate should take place, which is where our guy is standing. So I'm going to add another merge node here, and we're going to roto out our guy. Okay. So let's just roto our boy. Like so. There you go. And with this, we'll set our merge operator type here to mask with a lovely blur node. So now with this blur node, we can blur out our roto shape to something like that. And it's really just the clean plate that we want to project onto our image. So we could take our camera here. We could plug that over into our camera that we do have here. And the reason why we have the frame hold is because otherwise, if the camera is moving, the projection would be moving as well. And then we take this and we plug it into the thing that we would like to project. Now, if we plug all that as a texture onto our card, when we go over to our scan line, we will see that it actually has our image completely projected onto that card we created. Let's make sure that the auto alpha is selected here. So that way we won't have any problems when we try to overlay it back. But now, if we go to our merge node, this was just merging it over this guy. Now we're going to be merging, let's see, our regular image here. And we don't want to undistort it. There you go. Try sculpting in Blender. Still have to use it for, wow, I've missed a lot of chat that's going on here. What am I sculpting in Blender? I've done sculpting. Guys, for the last 2 weeks. Have you guys not seen my live streams for the last like 3 weeks? Okay, so now that we've got this clean plate, we can actually play back the whole shot. And theoretically, this should track on. And we should be able to see through our ghost here. Which actually gives us a number of options. We can actually make the bed sheet itself semi-transparent if we want it to. Or we could do the actual Conjuring effect, which is we'll roto over top of it the areas in which the sheet will be. And then when she pulls it off, it reveals essentially this clean plated version of the shot. You were talking to Bear. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm going to assume that no one's ever talking to me in chat. But now, essentially, we have like a clean plate version. You've been leaving me out of the conversation. Fair enough. Because they're having a full-blown conversation about something completely different. But now we have a clean plate version of the shot. I do like the idea of maybe having a little bit of translucency to the bed sheet, but I don't think I want to necessarily. All right, so next step I'm going to do is I'm just going to move everything up over here. Now that we've got this projected on, there's a couple things that we would like to do. First of all, we'll want motion blur, although it's not really that visible right now. But upping this samples here allows you to have the same motion blur. Like I say, like 10 or so is usually a pretty good sample number to have. Next up is also making sure that it's centered. So it's centered on your frame for the motion blur calculations rather than at the start of the frame or at the end of the frame. Actually does make a huge difference. And then the shutter speed, I usually like to keep it at about 0.5. So that generally works, though depending on your camera is what this would be. I'll be honest, cell phones might be different because they're different, but normally, yeah, normally on regular cameras, 0.5 tends to be the correct setting to have. Now that we have that, we do need a roto in the areas in which we want this to have, to be, right? So first of all, if we just disable this, we want to find the first frame that we're going to see the anything, and that would be like right here with his hair. And now we need to project or we need to reveal essentially the areas in which we want to have revealed. I think I don't like that. I think it's because, oh yeah, that does go off. All right, that's fine right there. I'm actually going to go delete this keyframe. That's fine. Let's play it back now. I just want to make sure that it doesn't look janky when we reveal it. So it's fine with there. That gets pulled off. His head is kind of visible right there, so might want that to be a little higher. And then we remove this keyframe, and then the blur is set to 100. We can obviously adjust this, but the brightness is also different. So let's go here. I'm going to add a grade node in. And we're just going to darken everything to match, as long as it matches the... I think the other thing was the white balance was changing, because again, I was shooting on a freaking cell phone, guys. I don't recommend shooting on a cell phone at all, but that's fine. We will make do with what we've got for right now. That all looks fine and dandy. So I'm just going through, checking the keyframes here. Yeah, this one's a little off here. So this to this needs to be adjusted a little darker. Or just eyeballing it, of course. In a way, it's kind of good that I'm doing this on the stream, because, like, I'll be honest, can't tell you how many times you get, like, shots where, you know, they just filmed it wrong. And then you just have to figure out how to make it work. Okay. I think I'm all happy with the way the white balance is animated now. So let's just play it back and see how it looks. Next 10 years, we'll likely see more global shutter options for cameras recording below 4K, possibly even on the FX3, more than likely. It's definitely a thing that I think will for sure be happening. All right, that looks pretty good for a clean plate, guys. Auto white balance is a crime. Well, I'm sorry. I filmed it with my cell phone and didn't even think about it until afterwards. And I was like, oh, that sucks. But in a way, it kind of works that I had this crappy thing, because now I had to fix it, which makes for a better dramatic live stream. All right, yeah, that clean plate works pretty well. So now when we go to this first frame that we would be seeing anything, should be able to work pretty nicely. So next up, we're going to use a merge node, I think. And this is going to be where our clean plate is. So I'm kind of like, I think I'm going to do a mask first and then a stencil. I think that's the plan. So anywhere that I need the clean plate to exist, I'm going to paint in right now. So over here, we'll set this merge node to a mask option. Average VFX artist talking to the little director. You filmed it wrong. No, you don't get to say that to the filmmakers, because then the next thing they'll tell you is like, well, we didn't have any time or any money, so now we have to ask you to do it for no time and no money. And you're just sitting there going, wait, what? Like, why is it that you get to have no time and money, but I don't? All right, so what I'm going to do right now is we're just going to go through this, and I think just roto all of this out. I'm just going to hand keyframe this roughly, like real rough, like garbage masking it to where like we'll need our head. As long as our head gets painted out, I'll be happy. And then we're going to bring back in the clothes or the cloth in a moment. It's like if we don't need to paint out certain stuff off to the side, then we don't have to, you know? I should probably add some points in here. Let's go ahead and do something like that, I think. Yeah, that's cool. Is your favorite middle name? That's good. Put that on a t-shirt. I'll buy one. Probably not because I'm cheap. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I don't think we'll need I don't think we'll need it to match the ZD focus. Oh, whoops. Missing his head a little bit here. Hopefully this isn't too like I feel like it might be a little too like this mask moving might be pretty like the leaves in the background are gonna be jumping. I don't know. We'll see. See how bad. We'll see how noticeable this all is. Hoping it's not too noticeable. Oh, whoops. Gotta select this whole thing here. Just move it out slightly. All right, let's see how well this animates and if it's too distracting in the background. In slow-mo, it didn't look too bad there, but I want to see how it looks because it might be like, you know, and like if that does that, then that wouldn't be good. Oh, it's a little bit, but not too bad. That's the most noticeable part right there. Okay, let's play that back again just to see how well it plays. Oh, there's a little flicker there. Little bit of a flicker nation going on. We don't like that. Not a fan. I mean, it's still, there's something going on. Something is going on there. I'm gonna jump keyframes out here. Let's see. Flicker less if it just gets larger faster. I just need that transition to happen a little nicer. It's not too bad. A little on the left side, you can see something growing over here. But I don't think that'll be noticeable once we roto all of this back in. So, next up, I want to add another merge node. Just do it a little further down. And this merge node over here, we'll swap it to a stencil. And I'm just going to add another roto in. And essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to say, hey, stencil out the clean plate. Just say it's a tree demon. I don't think you'll even be able to notice it. But if we do notice it, we do need to fix it. I'm going to stencil out the clean plate in certain areas. So let's go through the keyframes right now. And essentially what we need to do is find the edge of this cloth here. And we're just going to be jumping between the stuff real quick. So first of all, let's grab this guy. And then now we're just going to roto a lovely little edge here. Imagine using prompts to roto in Nuke. You can. It's called Comfy UI. All right, I'm just going to give a decent amount of pixels to myself here. And there you go. And now this stencil that's going to happen is right here. So essentially what we're doing is we're erasing the clean plate on certain frames. I'm just going to add a little bit of a blur node just to give a nice edge to it in a general sense. There you go. So now this stencil will be erasing our clean plate on certain frames. This, for instance, we can set the key here, and then we know that this frame we shouldn't have any clean plate whatsoever. So we're just gonna erase, I think. Then just take this actually and just pop it off. Oh, I guess I didn't need to remove the opacity on it. Yeah, that's right. I probably should have animated the opacity on that. It doesn't really matter. One frame snap's not going to make a difference here. So that, now we're going to go over here and we're just going to hand keyframe our lovely cloth that we have to go down the sheet. Spend a little bit of time to get this right. And I don't really know. I suppose we should probably check this, how big this guy is. Yeah, so it's roughly that size. So if I now select that, I suppose I don't want to. Yeah, and we can jump back and forth just to see what's happening here. But I want this ear to be gone. But we want the sheet to be here. You know what might be interesting is when we finally can see through the sheet. I guess she's pulling it down in such a way we wouldn't see the backside. We might a little bit here. So we might actually have to create some kind of backing to it. I don't know. It's only for like a frame or two. This is one of those situations that you would like show it to the creatives just to hope that they approve it without realizing that they should see the back of the sheet. We literally filmed this shot this morning. I was like, hey, buddy, can we go film this? And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's do it. I was like, I need a VFX shot for my live stream today, and this is the thing I want to do. Forgot to film it yesterday, so we just filmed it like a couple hours ago. Repetitive steps like masking, rotoing, adjusting layers. So half your time you're basically disassociating. Yeah, just like talking to chat. That's the eventual life of a compositor is just going to be live streaming and talking to chat while rotoing. All right. Let's I don't know how much of this I need. Oh, I guess a little bit. It kind of goes all the way over to the edge here. Probably could get like a nice AI roto. I just wanted something a little cleaner. Also, it's hard to tell AI what to keep in and what not to keep in. In our particular case, we want to only keep the sheet in, which I feel like would be challenging. All right. Just fix some of this over here. And I do feel like we need something on the back there for at least a frame. But, I mean, I don't know. It's only a few frames that we really have to hand paint this, guys. It's not that bad. Yeah, because, like, he's got to have, like, an edge to the sheet. You can also do both AI and manual, which is basically clean up in sections of the AI masses. Yeah, I've done that in the past. It's just you end up spending a little bit more time trying to clean up the AI stuff than you save. So it just kind of depends. Sometimes it works out really well. I will say, I don't know what happened, but I got the latest version of DaVinci Resolve installed on my computer this last week. I was doing some roto work for a buddy. And it just stopped work. Like I couldn't use DaVinci Resolve on this computer. Like it wouldn't. It was like saying I was running out of memory or something stupid like that. And I'm like, I don't feel like I have a bad computer, but maybe I gotta upgrade at some point here soon. Okay, it's looking pretty good. And to have to imagine that for a moment. So listen to this really cool podcast from ILM talking about creating the VFX for the creator. And they were talking about how when they did their HDRIs, they had to, because the kid had like this red hoodie on for the stuff that they were doing, that they would have to fake that red hoodie in all of their HDRIs with like a costume design or something like that in order for their CG to actually match correctly. Because otherwise, all of the HDRIs were without that there, and light bounces off of objects. So if you don't have a person that's maybe in a scene that's taking up a large portion of the shot or something like that, then the lighting will be different than when you don't have that person there. So HDRIs, for instance, are usually without actors in the shot, and hence when they had the shot of the kid, his hoodie was a big portion of the shot that was missing. I was just thinking about the lighting difference between the bush here is that theoretically light bounces off of people and onto surrounding objects. So the difference between the clean plate and this will be that the actors weren't in the stage. So theoretically that could be a difference that you would have to account for inside of your comp work. Just something to think about. Okay, next frame. Guys, we're getting through it real quick here. So quick. Gosh, I hate rotoing cloth so much. Good thing is it moves so fast. It's like we just have to kind of like eyeball it. And I feel like for the most part, AI is your boyfriend. I mean, hey, to each his own. There's a movie about that. It's called Her, starring Joaquin Phoenix. Nope, you said boyfriend, which hey, that's cool. I don't judge. Hey. I mean, technically, I think everybody judges. Even when they say they don't judge, I think people judge. They'll say like, "Oh, I don't judge," but internally they really do. Good morning, Adam. How you doing? Aw, thanks, man. Today we're just painting out a dude who's not supposed to be there, but painting back in the cloth. Just go to the edge on that one. There we go. I just hate how the Bezier curves on this part, like sometimes I want them, sometimes I don't. I just wish that it would understand when I want them. That's the AI I really want. So I just want you to read my imagination of what I would like at any given moment. One thing I did do this week, guys, by the way, which is pretty sweet. I have been working on a baking book for my mom for the last 2 years, and basically finished with it. We're going through and editing it now, so I'm really excited. It's been something I've been working on for a while. We baked up all the cookies and recipes in the entire thing probably about a year and a half ago now. And then we went and created all the recipes that are inside of it, wrote up all those, and then now finishing up all the Photoshop work essentially with it. Is it already Monday for you, Adam? Sometimes I want them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I want them. Cotton Eye Joe. I don't know what that is. So it's Monday. Wow. Well, I hope you enjoy the stream, man. I'll show you kind of what we got so far since you just joined. The goal of the stream was to have this shot here. Oh, why is it taking so long just to play the plate? Oh, sweet. That's awesome. No, I don't know Cotton Eye Joe. I don't know if I'm supposed to know Cotton Eye Joe. I don't know. But we're doing the Conjuring shot here where a cloth is pulled off of a person, but then there's nobody under the cloth. It's like one of those. I would imagine the next shot would be the actual ghost would be standing directly behind the girl. But yeah, that would be like the jump scare. So that's the shot we're doing. We already camera tracked everything, and then I projected the clean plate that we created right here onto our actual shot. And then we masked in the areas in which we wanted the clean plate to be revealed, like so. And that got all project or placed back over top of everything. And then now I am masking back in the cloth itself for these frames. It's not going to be that many frames, it's just a few frames. Almost have. So this, I suppose it's only till about right here. Yeah. So I have to just keyframe these in. Well, sweet. I appreciate that. Today's our last Spooktober live stream. So that means I got to figure out. So next week, guys, I won't be live streaming. I'm actually going to be out of town for the weekend. But I am going to be back the week after that. I got to figure out exactly what we're going to be doing then. So we've got a couple weeks in November before we start doing some Christmas live streams. So if you guys got any suggestions, make sure to leave some chats below. Thanksgiving live stream. Yeah, what is a thing? Like we'll do like a turkey render or something like that. We'll do a turkey stream. I do know eventually here soon. I am trying in November, maybe. I don't know yet. I'm trying to direct another short film here pretty soon, guys. And hopefully I'll be able to do some BTS on that kind of thing. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way to... What's like a good way to showcase this stuff on YouTube that people would like to actually watch? Like, to me, I love behind the scenes stuff, but I don't know if other people do necessarily. But I got 2 short films I'm trying to direct. And then this morning I was talking to a buddy of mine who has been doing a bunch of projects himself, and I might be doing one for him as well. Okay, I'm going to move this over here for now, and then I just got to move these. Get that keyframed up. The Man of Tomorrow. The Man from Tomorrow. It sounds like a good movie name, doesn't it? The Man from Tomorrow. Like a good sci-fi. And then my neighbor is gonna let me try using his old 3D printer that he has. I am so stoked about that. I have some. I got some things I want to try printing. I like all the characters, like the CG characters that I've done over the years. I just think it would be so cool to print miniature versions of them. I don't know how hard it is to convert anything from Blender to a printable thing, but dude, I like very much want to do it. Miniature Connor figure. Yeah, I gotta print a miniature Connor figure. Maybe that'll be a stream is painting some miniatures. How about that, guys? Would you be down for that? Some 3D print miniature stuff. I have to do a completely different setup though. But I think that would be fun. I have some ideas of like some short films I want to do, so I could like design some like sci-fi weapons or whatever in Blender and then print them out. I'm like, dude, I could make like my own freaking Star Wars crap. I don't know. I got very excited about all the different possibilities of what you can do with a 3D printer. You know, I just never bought one because, well, first of all, they were always a little expensive, but I never bought one because I just felt like I would use it for things that I think would be fun. Like I had in the past, my neighbor let me use his printer to like print some board game pieces, because you can design some board game pieces inside of Blender and then print those out. And those were so fun. Like you know, I would turn some card games that we had into like kind of like board game versions and make custom miniature pieces and print those out. Never did any of the paintwork on top of it, but it was super fun just to get the printed version of the stuff, right? But then there's websites, by the way, guys. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but you can do custom printed game boards on online. Just like search them up. Like you can literally make anything custom these days. And and yeah, so that was stuff I've done in the past, and that was really cool. But you can't justify buying a whole 3D printer just for like, you know, printing out one fun thing. It's like buying a regular paper printer and being like, oh yeah, I want to print out a flyer one day. And then you print out your one flyer, but then you'll never really need the 3D printer or the regular printer again. Like I don't know. It seems very hard to justify getting a whole thing for like that. I feel like a lot of the people I know with like 3D printers use it to print stuff they sell online, like you know, like utility crap. And I don't think I want to do that at all. I want to do the fun stuff. I want to print the fun stuff out. All right, how does that look? Guys, this is going to work pretty well. Oh, man. Manual roto. The most fun thing for anybody to watch. Printing out a weapon sounds awesome. How long does that usually take to print? I think it really depends on the printer. In this particular case, I mean, it could take like 10 hours, right? Like depending on the size. I do know the one that I'll be getting my hands on is, okay guys, I'm going to cut out over here. So we'll just go to here and pretend like that's the edge. The one that I'll be getting my hands on is a resin 3D printer, and that prints, I think, quite a bit quicker than the other ones, like the laser 3D printers. because well they all have this will definitely have lasers as well, but essentially it prints it inside of resin. Also apparently it's a lot higher quality. You don't get the layer lines that you would get on the other 3D printers. I think it also prints upside down, so it goes upwards. The FBI won't be on Adam's back because he's in Japan. So he gets away with that. What's like the Japanese version of the FBI though? Or do they have that? They definitely have like a Japanese version of the CIA, right? I actually know nothing about politics in most other countries. Not that that's a political thing, but when I was in Europe, I was just trying to wrap my head around how like even the English parliament system works. I was like, wait, so you guys have like okay, so you guys vote people in, and they're like, yeah, and they kind of just last as long as they last, you know. And then people don't vote them in again, but there's no term limits, and I'm like, oh my goodness. It's like people just get tired of a politician. They're like, yeah, you're gone. You don't really know? Oh, fair enough, I guess. Whether or not it's the CIA. I know like I mean just because there's movies. I feel like I get most of my information from movies. So the English have MI6, which is their version of the CIA, right? Or the CIA. And but I don't know what so wait, then the Russians have what do the Russians have? Like the Kremlin with the they definitely have mafia. I've seen the games, you know, the ones I literally can't remember what they call themselves. Yakuza? Well, mafia is not an organization. Like that's like a crime organization. So like that doesn't count as like a Yakuza is a cool name though. The Yakuza are coming after you. Like that's pretty cool. I feel like Japan seems like a really chill place to live though. I've never been to any Asian countries really. The farthest over to the Eastern Hemisphere I've been really has been New Zealand. That is the Eastern Hemisphere, right? Or am I just like stupid? Which I could be stupid and it's the Eastern Hemisphere, so that's not the answer whether or not I'm stupid. Are dying out, it seems. Oh, that's not good. Unless the Yakuza is like a gang. I don't know. It sounds like because like the mafia is a gang. It's not a government thing. But the CIA is not a gang, so I don't know if there's just like, some confusion here of what the CIA is. Growing up, I actually knew a guy who was a FBI agent. So for a while, my idea of what an FBI agent was through this one person I knew. Maybe it's a good thing that I've heard they can be pretty hardcore and not in a good way. Adam might be a ninja. So we have a video game called Assassin's Creed. Is there a video game like that's basically about ninjas? I feel like that would be also a pretty cool game. Do we have a movie series that's just about ninjas? Because, like, think about it. We've got, different movies. Like Pirates of the Caribbean is a great pirates film, right? We've got space movies. Do we have, and we've got like Lord of the Rings, for like a good, like, medieval type situation. Do we have any good like ninja movies or series that's like, oh my goodness, like that is the definition of what a ninja is? Like when you think of pirates, chances are you probably think of Pirates of the Caribbean. It's one of the more pop culture like storylines and characters of that kind of genre or world building type of thing. Is there a thing like that for ninjas? I feel like with assassins, you kind of think of, you know, Assassin's Creed, even though those movies always kind of sucked. Though they only really made one movie, right? And it did not do well. Ghosts of Tsushima. It's a recent game about something like that. Oh, well, see, that just goes to show you how much I play video games because I did not know. My resident uh, video game expert, Ben, is not on the live stream today for me to ask. All right, hopefully this is like the last freaking one here, guys. That was another thing is I filmed this at like 30 frames per second when I should have been filming it at 24. Well, I guess from a ninja perspective, you probably would think of Mortal Kombat in some ways, right? Or from a ninja perspective, you'll think of Ninjago from the Lego like universe. Yeah. I really hope this is like the last frame. I think we're pretty close to it being like the last frame. And we can mess around with maybe some day for night crap. Only 54 more frames to go. Hey guys, we're super close to 5,000 subscribers, by the way. We're kind of like, I think we're about 180 subscribers away from that. Yeah, that was the last frame. Let's go, guys. Okay, so then that's the first frame. So then this, we don't need it all. Let's see how this plays. Oh, his feet are still visible down there. But I think that's because I know why. It's because the clean plate frame is higher up. It's okay. We can crop in. I'm fine. The director just said that we are okay with cropping in. Which, by the way, if you guys want access to this plate to use for your own thing, of course, it'll be available over on the Patreon. Okay, does that look weird? Just the ghost didn't want to get his feet wet. All right, you know what's weird about it? There is something weird about it. Um, let's do that. I don't like this edge here. It feels weird. It feels weird and I don't like it. It goes his feet wet though. Right. I don't like. I think. Let's do this. There's no motion blur in this shot really at all anyways, so I'm just going to add it afterwards. Because the cell phone shot is such a high shutter angle. All right, see you, Bear Gun Productions. Thank you so much for jumping in. I know it's late for you. Yeah, we'll crop in for the feet there, so that way we don't have to worry about it. But I think this motion blur, which you guys can't see, but I added this motion blur here at the edge of the whole thing, which we can kind of get away with. And normally there would be motion blur on the shot, like at all, but there wasn't because I shot it on my cell phone. So we're kind of like adding in that now just to make it feel more like it was shot with a real camera. I feel like there's a lot of things that I'm kind of just doing to help sell the crap that I have. Let's see. Yeah, there's a little bit of a weird fadiness going on over here. You're trying to solve some comp issues and had to answer it was so simple. One of your videos helped. Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for watching. Glad I can be of some kind of assistance. All right, let's try this. We'll play this back, see how that looks. What was the question that you had? Going through a live stream to find an answer to something like that. It's got to kind of suck almost though. Although we do have those cut downs. I haven't uploaded the last couple, but Ben's been working hard on them. This one should be a little easier because it's a little bit easier of a VFX shot. Oh, that looks sweet, guys. Yeah, baby. What's that? How can you become like me in terms of comping? Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I suppose it's all just trial and error, you know? I think the best thing to do is to try new things out all the time. You never know. There's all sorts of new workflows and everything like that. And I do think like people try to stick with like traditional methods too much. Nowadays there's just so much new ways in which you can go about trying to do things. Don't get stuck up on the way that, you know, it's been done in the past. There can be new ways in which to do things. I guess that's what I would say. Okay, something about this is not working. Working as of now on one of the action VFX footage, but was not able to understand how do I add snow in the shot. Well, so okay, I mean, there's a number of ways to add snow into a shot. I did a film in January of this year, and we did steal his brain. There's a lot better people to steal their brains of than me, okay? But seriously though, the probably there's just so many ways to do it. I don't know what your specific shot is, but I do tend to say like, hey, maybe there's a 2D approach that you should look into, that can be better than what trying to do it in 3D. You know, clean plating is also one of those, or not clean plating, but digital matte paintings is a really nice workflow that I always try to do first. But yeah, I mean, there's like a number of ways you can go about anything. That's what I love about VFX is there's not really a right answer. It's like basically a bunch of wrong answers. No, there's no wrong answer. It's just like, you know, you can really like experiment with new ways. And especially right now when it's not for a job, like take the opportunity now to, you know, really try new things. Because then once you get into work, you don't get that opportunity to test out new workflows and stuff. From your videos, I get to know I can use roto nodes to paint the snow on the roof of houses. And you tried that and it literally took 2 minutes and worked with 3D camera. When did I do that? I it rings a bell, but I don't remember exactly when I did that. I don't remember when I did that on a live stream, I should say. All right, that's gonna be a little darker here. Probably one of my CG ones. Blaster shot of the girl. Oh, that was like years ago, dude. I feel bad for all the anybody that watches those old streams. Yeah, you're right. 1 year ago. I've only been streaming for like 2 years, so that's a fair. I hate all this. Okay, and if that's 10. I guess we want any motion blur on that. Motion blur here is fine. I just don't like what it's doing to this here. Uniform distribution. I'm trying to like clean up this like ugly blue thing that's happening. I'm trying to see if there's a dial that I can do to rein it in. I don't know where it's coming from. Beginner when it comes to VFX, so also we'll be going through all your past streams. Oh no. No, don't do that. I think it's from this freaking blue line here. It's like creating like something like weird there. Oh, the drone one was fun. I like the drone one. Action VFX still uses that every now and then for their like their whatever you want to call it. All right, I don't like that. Let's try motion blur 2D. I don't usually use this node, so let's just see how it looks. Shutter uncentered. And take the output UV motion. And then I think what I need to do is do vector, smart vectors. I need to create vectors in order for it to understand motion. Maybe. I don't know. I don't usually use this motion blur one, but we're gonna find out in a moment. Oh wait, I got an idea. Let's try a couple different things. I'm gonna take this, and then this is a mask option that we will see here. And if we use the motion blur on this guy, there we go. And let's just set that to like 10 or 30. And then set this to like a 0.5. So it's a real smaller value. Then we take this guy and then we blur him over top of this. Make a real smaller. And then instead of the stencil, we can actually get rid of the stencil at that point. And then now we're just going to be merging it back over top of everything. So we'll just take that out. There you go. Cleaner edge. Get rid of that stupid blue thing. I don't really even know what that was. So now I could just go delete that. Let's just clean this up. So now we have this mask option here that we will be layering in over top of everything else. So the way it works, original plate, clean plate, and then the cloth that we have with the motion blur applied to it, because I wanted to add that little extra like zing to it. I feel like that's going to help a lot. How do you add a ground plane to a footage where there's no ground plane, like the drone footage of the buildings? And if I want to make it a post-apocalyptic scene, how do you approach those shots? Okay, so theoretically with that, so many rotos, yeah. Well, I mean, technically just two. It's just the 2 layers that I have. So for the post-apocalyptic approach to it, that's going to be in 3D. That you're probably going to be adding in like all of that kind of stuff. There's a couple different ways. Nowadays, you can really utilize some AI tricks to creating digital matte paintings and projecting that onto 3D topology in order to get that detail there. There's a couple different tools for that. Comfy UI, to take existing imagery and then like basically creating elements on top of it. Full CG approach of like adding in like different elements, and basically you can do that also with 2D, where you can create all this stuff in a 3D image, render it out, and then project it again. That'll save on render times way faster and more optimized. And then the other approach, which is but yeah, I mean, I feel like all of that kind of like answers your question. The ground plane is more to do with like scaling, like you know what your scene size is supposed to be. You kind of can like measure different things. So if you take like windows and you know the height of a window, you can then like kind of figure out where the ground is. Again, that's usually because a VFX soup on set will give you all of that info. Um, but yeah, wow, guys, this is working. It's working, kind of working. Thanks, Adam. So many rotos, a lot of rotos. Not really that much. I mean, this is actually a pretty small comp in comparison to some of the stuff I've done in the last month on some other work. I'm just gonna go and delete that. We don't need to even think about distortion. Okay, I think we're pretty close. The bush in the background looks like it's growing on the left side. It does, doesn't it? It does grow. It's like right there. Easy fix though. I think we can literally just transform this thing. And then let's see, let's select that. We want to move it over. Probably too much. But let's just see. Slightly different, but I wonder how noticeable that's going to be. This you're trying for your personal project? The great thing about personal projects is that you get a little more time than you will in a production environment. You can spend months working on a single shot, but I think that's something else that I would tell young artists to like kind of like learn how to do is learn how to work fast, because you're not going to have that infinite amount of time that you would normally have. I would say practice like trying to get stuff done quickly, because like you'll only have like a day to work on a shot, or a day and a half to work on a shot in a lot of environments. I think gone are the days of working on a shot and getting like 2 weeks to work on it. I think those days are kind of gone. Can you recommend me any channel for learning more techniques for 2D comping in Nuke? I think Hugo's Desk is a great channel to learn from. Victor Perez is a great channel to learn from. These guys are like industry pros. Definitely recommend those channels. I got a little bit of like weird gookily going on over there. Both those channels are definitely ones that I 100% recommend. They're like legit pros. I think there's a few other like good channels. Yeah, the left side's looking good. I feel like the right side is now a little bit more obvious that it's like there's like a weird thing. These flowers are moving over, basically. Let's see our clean plate over here. I think that's fine, but there's like a yeah, this stupid thing is causing me problems, huh? Oh no, it's not even that one. It's this guy. Okay, wait a second. I figured it out. And what I need to do is go to frame 1059 here. Yeah, Nikki's knows like all the best YouTubers. Okay, I'm gonna take this and we're just gonna find the area. So I want this flower there to line up with this flower here. Okay, that at least lines up now. Okay, now if we go back to here, hopefully it lines up a little better. Nikki's only watch is the best, except for when it comes to me. This is Nikki's day off. Sundays every week. Nikki's is like, it's fine. I'll learn from the worst real quick to figure out what not to do with my comps. I gotta fix now the ground here because now that I got this to line up, this is not lining up. I'll probably actually do that with a grid warp. But now that line on the ground doesn't line up, but I just want to see if this flower gets fixed. Another way we could do this with this is you can actually project your roto onto a plane as well, so you get the same track. I think you can also technically output an axis from a 3D as well, or we could just like do a new track. It's a lot better. There's some still weird gooky going on there, but so let's see. This guy here. What I want to do is I want to just like show the whole bush here. And then again. And then now the last frame here. Yeah, see, it's like I didn't keep any consistency whatsoever. It's like I gotta consistently keep this edge here. Otherwise, I'm gonna run into problems. Taught you how to operate the Blackmagic Ursa for a film. That's cool. Did he say focus a lot? It's like, and this trigger here helps you pull the focus. No, I hope to. I've never met him, but I hope to one day. He seems like a really nice, genuine guy. And I like his approach to with AI. I like he was one of the ones inside of the talk I was talking about that about AI and like what people's opinions of it are and whatever. And he was one of the ones that I kind of like. I liked his perspective on it, which was more of the realm of like, look guys, I want to just make pretty images and work on stuff, and you know, it's not the tool that dictates whether or not I can do something. I would say listen to what he has to say about it rather than my repeating it, but his perspective was more reasonable on like, look, we can all sit here and talk about how we don't like AI and we don't want it to, you know, control us or you know, we don't want to use it at all and all of that. But like using it for clean plating and using it for roto is already something that it's like no one likes to do those things. So using it for that seems to make a lot of sense. The people it kind of sucks are the entry level positions. Those are usually entry level positions. And I thought that was like a better take on it rather than just being like, I'm not going to use it because I don't like AI and I want to have you know, I want to be above everybody else's you know, opinion on it. I don't know. What is that? Having like a bit more of taking the high road. I don't actually even know what I'm saying right now. Wait, what? Did I just break something? Oh, here we go. Oh, because I was trying to view just the transform room. But yeah, there was a talk with him and some other educators who were talking about whether or not what people's opinions on AI are, and I thought like his take on it like seemed to make the most sense. It's like, look, no one's sitting here going, "Oh, I love AI and I want it to take all of our jobs away from us." But at the same time, you kind of have to have somewhat of an understanding that it's going to happen. So what's the best ways for us to utilize it? I don't know. I think it's a really good talk. It was a podcast that I was listening to on, I think it was Hugo's channel. And it was a recent podcast. Definitely recommend listening to his take on it rather than just like hearing me say that thing. Because I don't want to misspeak about what his opinion is. I feel like I already have like 20 times. Because I'm like rotoing at the same time I'm trying to talk. Now it's got that like bright twig that's on that side. I think my clean plate didn't have it because the time between when I filmed the shot and when I filmed the thing, I think maybe the sun changed position slightly. So this is how clean plating works, guys. You just like take little pieces from here, a little piece from there, and like just like try to get it to work. The only better idea for clean plating nowadays that I have found is that you can use Photoshop or Nano Banana to create a clean plate from an actual shot of the film. And that actually works pretty well. You do run into issues with dynamic range, so you can't have high dynamic range shots in that particular case. I will have to fix this bottom here, but that's not the end of the world. I'll fix that in a moment. Just wanna, oh yeah, it looks a lot better, guys. Oh, that works a lot better. No more random growing things in the background. Okay. What I'm gonna do next is we're actually gonna take this exact same clean plate that we have here. I'm just going to copy paste it. Sorry, you look like your dad. Oh, 100% look like my dad right now, Nate. I look so much like my dad with the stash. But you know it's October. I gotta go on the stash grind right now. Like it's like I always love to do the mustache in October for like the 80s kind of like Halloween vibe. No, it's hilarious. The stash makes me look a lot like my dad. You thought he was the one on the stream? I should tell my dad he needs to be the one that live streams next. Be like, hey, you're gonna take over my live streams from now on. Nate said it, not me. All right, I'm gonna do this bottom section down here with the roto. What just happened? Why is it so this? Oh, that's hilarious. I think I accidentally just This needs to be over here. And then we'll move this transform node up, I think. So now if we see this, we'll see that we only have the ground portion of this. So I'm going to copy this, or copy this transform, because it's already going to have a lot of the other settings that we want. We're just going to need to move it slightly. But now we go to our main thing over here. If I grab this transform, I should be able to move it up and line it up closer with the ground that we want. And that's just going to overlay everything. We're pretty close. We just need that line, I think. Oh, well. It's pretty much there. Be a fun skit. Well, one day you guys are going to just get here. My dad's going to give a live stream for you guys. And you'll be like, wait, what is going on? Connor just aged 40 years. You'll be like, I don't know what's going on right now. Conjuring. The true horror film. Connor finally cracked. Okay, I think that works. I just did a little too much for the height here, so let's just pop that up. There we go. Hey Adam, thank you so much for dropping in. See you next time. Yeah, the shot's kind of from Conjuring, but I filmed it this morning. I'll show you in a moment. You'll see a little our little friend here. Did the film crew of the actual movie experience paranormal events? I don't know if on Conjuring they did. I know for Paranormal Activities they said that. I don't know. I feel like every horror film they say things like that, but it's really just to, you know, build hype around a project. I don't know if it actually happens or not. I feel like people say those things. You know, I had a buddy that made a horror film and they said that, you know, things happen too. And it's like, no, it didn't. You know, yeah, it's for marketing. Exactly. Okay. Make sure to give this video a like, guys, if you haven't, and make sure to subscribe. We're 180, I think, subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers. Wow, this is looking pretty sweet, guys. Yeah, it works pretty well. Let's see what like a day for night looks like on top of all of it. I mean, you got some sun flares coming in here. I don't think it's going to turn out super great. But we're going to test it. Why not, right? It doesn't hurt to test it. So first thing I like to do with day for nights is kind of like just lower the exposure. Just because, hey, it's nighttime and exposures are usually darker. The next thing is it's pretty warm. So I like to throw a grade on here and then just change the white point here to get rid of some of that warmth and like go towards the blues on a shot. This usually will get you a little bit closer on the way there. Nighttime usually tends to be blue instead of red. So we can usually try to do quite a bit of that by just like building that up over here. So if we go pretty blue like that, now it's going to look like very fake. I feel like I've seen movies with like day for nights that look like this, and it always really annoys me because there's no such thing as like a day for night. Like the world never looks like this, you know what I'm saying? So now we could just like hike down the exposure even more. We're going to run into problems no matter what because the sky is pretty blown out. And unfortunately, that's just like the footage that we're dealt with here. The next thing I like to do is throw a saturation node in. If you, yeah, it's also 8-bit on a cell phone. It's not great. But with the my day for nights, I like to throw a little bit of desat in there. So we do go blue, but then we kind of bring back the saturation because night times tend to be a little bit darker and less colorful. In my experience of what I like to see. Now this is already way darker than I feel like most colorists would like to take it, because most colorists like to have things be like really kind of like, I don't know, whimsically bluish night, like the Game of Thrones stuff, and I've never really been a fan of that. I feel like you got to go real dark in the shadows here because ideally, like, you wouldn't really be able to see any of this stuff if it were actually nighttime. So, like, we can get things to be quite a bit darker here than I think we would ever think that we would want it to be. Because realistically speaking, things would be that dark, especially on a horror film. Um, Next up, we can I like, we'll just add a dot here just so we can do this, but uh we can bring in a keyer node here. I think this is an interesting thing to do as well, is that we kind of want to make sure that we're getting all of the brightest spots of our image. We just like kind of crush everything here to find like the really true highlights of our shot. And then we're going to do some things here. So first of all, we're going to do that. And then I'm going to take a blur node, and then we're just going to blur it. Not by a lot. That was a little too much. It's a little laggy. But what I want to do is kind of do that. And then we'll drop in another exposure node here. And if we go and preview that now, I'm going to take this exposure here, and then we're just going to kind of brighten up this stuff. Because ideally, we're trying to create like this moonlight on our objects here. It's going to lift everything up. But you're also going to see it happen up there, which is not ideal. So probably want to mask out that section. So we'll just go and add another roto node in here. Probably just key this out. Not that much. Probably like that. And then let's change this to a stencil here. We'll just blur the hell out of that crap. Essentially, we're just trying to keep that part of the sky out while lifting up kind of like our ghost edge light here. Does saturation play a yes? Yeah, I mean I did already add a saturation node in here, because if like we kept that, like, you'll see how blue and like, you know, everything is going to be like, and that just doesn't work for us. Next up, I mean, there's a couple things we could do here. I think ideally there's some cinematic nature of stuff that you can do. For instance, if we wanted to, we could get just like a moon over here. And let's see, I want to try to see if I could find. Oh, my computer has gone full lag on me, and I don't know why. Just find a picture of a moon. I like this one. We don't really have to do this, but I kind of like the idea of doing something like this. Let's put this under assets for right now. And then if I put a transform on here, the next up thing we might do is let's use a keyer right now. And then again, we're just going to try to get like the brightest spots of our image. Something like that for right now. Let's use another exposure node. And then this time, we're going to only want that. So we'll say, hey, mask that. So now we're only kind of getting that area over there. And this time, I'm going to crush everything. So if we go into our shot now, our sky is going to be a lot blacker than it was. And we're going to artificially kind of create that moonlight back into our shot. So for right now, I'm just going to kind of clean this up a little bit so we can see where all of these nodes are going to and from. But ideally, what we want right now, let's just go and do that. All right, beautiful thing. Okay, so we're kind of like crushing out the sky over here. What we want to do is we want to add the moonlight that we are now missing. And we can go ahead and merge that basically in here. We're not really using this moon as much as we are using it as a way in order to generate light. So I'm just going to add that all the way up there. And I might even, I think for right now, keep it about right here. Inside of our actual thing, we're going to merge this over top of a constant. So let's just go ahead and add a black constant in here. And this will just create an image of like our moon and over top of black. But you'll notice that the alpha is a square, and that's because there is no alpha on this JPEG. So all we have to do is really add a keyer node into here, and now voila, we've got ourselves some alpha of our circle. And with this, we can use, I love this volume raise node inside of Nuke here. This allows us to create like these really cool, like kind of like flare, like rays, volume rays. I'm going to do a werewolf scenes this spooky season. Not this time. Mostly just because this is the last spooky live stream of the year. Next week's no longer October. Okay, I'm going to kind of like line this up like roughly something like here. And then we'll do a ray pre-blur. Something like that's pretty good. And obviously if this had any blue in it, it would create that kind of like blue effect. Let's move this a little further over here. And our volume ray will just do something like that. Now if we do that and we go back over here, we now have this artificial moonlight that we kind of added into our shot. Already looking quite a bit better. Probably just want to position that a little bit more. And then that gives us a really nice flare that we didn't have otherwise. And you can control this, so we'll just do this as a plus. You can control the amount that this light is going to be coming in from over yonder by this little slider here. So voila, there's your day for night shot inside of Nuke. If you wanted to do a day for night, this could work. From the original plate here to this kind of like dark day for night version. All you would really need to do now is track in this moon that we added here. That's the only thing that you would need to track. Everything else with the keyers kind of works for this shot. I think we could track it. Why don't we just track it to track it right now? So I'm going to add a tracker node in. Yeah, I didn't want to. I don't know why I didn't want to. I just didn't want to. I mean, I could have, Nikki's. You're right. I just didn't want to. All right, I'm going to track this red thing here. Though theoretically, I probably should track something over here. Although she's going to go out the right side. So let me just track this. I just know there's some weird distortion that's going to happen. So I'm just going to go backwards one, and then we're going to track this all the way forward. And hopefully it just tracks. I don't want to have to deal with tracking problems today. Efficiency is key. 100%. Definitely agree. Especially when you have to do shots very quickly, you know. It just doesn't help to try to manually do everything. But then, hey, I'm the one that sat here and for an hour manually rotoed the cloth coming off. So who's the one that's not being efficient? Did no one answer my Q&A question? What's your favorite horror film? Come on, guys. No one answered the Q&A. Oh, well. To be honest, you don't know? Your answer's supposed to be Bad Omen. I'm just kidding. That's hopefully not your answer. Okay, let's see how well that tracked. I know that it's drifted. I didn't really drift at all. So, I mean, it drifted a little bit. Let's do a match move here. We'll hit create and then move this guy all the way down here. Okay. Let's see how janky this is. Veeth is a talent? 100%. Yep. I said to Veeth this morning, I was like, hey, can I film you for my live stream? And he was actually very game. Like, I didn't have to convince him. He was just like, yeah, sure. And I was like, just to clarify, thousands of people will see you. I was like, I just want to make sure you know. Oh, we're going to have some issues with the day for night in the top corner over here. Oh, that looks ugly too. I kind of don't want this for the final render. I'm just doing it to see how it looks, guys. But I don't want this for the final render because it gets rid of all of our beautiful work that we did over here. I'm mostly doing this because you guys suggested to do it. But I don't think this shot lends itself. There's too many shadows. That was the thing I hated about the day for nights that they did in Game of Thrones. They'd be like running on the beach and then there'd be like these hard shadows in the sand. And it's like, that's just is like a dead giveaway of day for night shots or the shadows and like how the light is on someone's skin. But I want to see this. That track's pretty nice though. I mean, for it's almost good for a day for night, but that 8-bit is really showing through here. Like, that's so chunky. This is why you don't film things 8-bit. Also would need the flare to kind of go away when her head goes in front. And then I got some issues with the sun over there. Yeah, so we're not going to do for the day for night, but I just wanted to kind of showcase that if we wanted to, we could totally do that. I'm going to, for the people that want the project files on Patreon, this is the day for night. I am going to just disable the stuff here, and you can use it for whatever you want. I mean, it's up to you. Great. Well, let's do another thing real quick. I'm going to do an expression, and this expression, I'll make sure the alpha is just set to, if you use an expression node here, you can set the alpha to 1, and then that just ensures that the alpha is always going to be full on everything, just in case you did any weirdness with rotos. Next up, we're going to, because this didn't have any grain on it, I'm going to just throw a regrain on it because I like grain. And we'll do a little smaller grain size. 8-bit is equal to 1 byte. Chunky 12-bit is equal to 1.5 bytes smooth. Is that what you say to yourself when you try to go to sleep? You just it's your thing you tell yourself to help yourself go to sleep at night. It's like instead of, you're just like, oh, 1 bit. It's like instead of counting sheep, you just count up all the bytes on your computer. So they say like counting sheep to go to sleep. You're just like, oh, I count all the bytes on my hard drive. Okay. I'm going to play this back again in the day mode, and then that'll be it for the VFX shot. But yeah, guys, hey, if you guys aren't part of the Discord, make sure to join. That link is in the description. Of course, if you want these project files, they'll be available over on the Patreon. Of course, you guys know that. But yeah, I won't be streaming next week. I'm going to be out of town. And then the week after, we'll be back. But I got to figure out what we want to do for our next live stream. So we're going to be in November. I suppose I'll just have to see if there's anything coming out at that time. That'll be like a good stream. Not really a themed stream anyways. I do know that like once we hit December, we can start doing some Christmas streams. It's been a minute since we've done any of those, so that'll be fun. It'll be a good time. But it's actually turned out pretty fun. I was hoping it wasn't going to be over in 45 minutes, and it turned out it took longer than 45 minutes to do this VFX shot. That's the way things work. Autocorrect is a crime? 100% is a crime. Whoever invented autocorrect should be in jail. Pretty cool shot, though. If you guys want the plate or any of that stuff, of course, it's over on the Patreon as well. But this is very cool. And, of course, the original plate on it. Great cast. the facial expression Veeth makes because he's being forced to be in a shot. Well, there you guys go. All right. Well, hey guys, that was fun. That was a good stream. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Well, hey, we're on our road to 5K subscribers. Only 180 more to go. Share with your poor dude. Hey. He gets paid. No, he doesn't. Shh, don't tell him that actors normally get paid. Don't tell Veeth that actors normally get paid. Because otherwise he'll be asking for money and that wouldn't be fun. Uh well, hopefully soon I'll be doing my couple short films that I got lined up. I did release one of them over on the Patreon for all tiers. Um he gets his cut. Yeah, he gets his cut of the ad revenue, which is like 3 cents. I think most of these live streams I get like 3 pennies from the ad revenue, or like 2 pennies. Totally high. Yeah, we'll give him his 5% cut of the ad revenue. It was funny because I told my sister, who's the one pulling the sheet off, I was like, all right, walk up and just like walk up real slow. You're scared, you know, like there's this ghost standing in your yard and you don't know what the hell's going on. And then you go up, grab it, and then pull it off. And then she's like doing this like kind of like walk like this, and I'm like, what are you doing? But it's okay. I only use the very last bit. Pay him 5 cents for 100 features. Well, yeah, if we were keeping up with that percentage point over the course of like all of the stuff. Luckily, this isn't a feature film. He stood there for like 30 seconds. We filmed the thing with my cell phone, which hindsight's 2020. I should have grabbed like an actual camera to film the thing. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna let you go because I want to go get that 3D printer, and then I want to see if I can get it set up and do a test print with it. And then, guys, I'm going hog wild. I think I even want, I want to make like miniatures for like a shot rather than doing a full CG shot. I want to do kind of like a miniature set. I don't know. I just want to because I've never done it, and I think it would be awesome. I don't know. I don't know how hard it is to do that. Can't wait. Yeah, exactly. Dude, I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. Looks like the emojis don't go through on the Streamlabs thing. Oh well, we'll figure that out at some point. But hey, thank you guys so much for watching today's live stream. Of course, if you aren't part of the Discord, a link to that is in the description below. Would love to see your guys' work over there and stuff you guys are working on. So post that stuff. We're getting to the end of the year, which is crazy cool. So if you guys are starting to work on some holiday projects, let me know. And if you guys have any recommendations for live streams, let me know that too. Because, yeah. And I don't know, maybe one of these streams, I will do like some painting of miniatures and stuff. I don't know. Would that be fun? Because I feel like I want to make some props, and it would be really cool. Props for like a film. It'd be cool to maybe stream that. Maybe make some miniatures for a thing. I don't know. I'm just like, the possibilities are endless with a 3D printer. You just like, you never know. But anyways, you guys stay creating, stay cool. I will talk to you guys not next week, but the following week after that. So make sure to hit the subscribe button below to stay notified when I'm going live. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.